Hey guys, just a quick disclaimer. As always, we do not claim to be therapists or counsellors. We are just sharing our stories of experiences that we have had from someone with lived experience and someone who is a researcher and a practitioner. When you are listening to these stories, please take care of yourselves, as they can be a little bit heavy. There's some funny stories in there as well. Obviously, we are open to positivity in the comment section, please. Like I said, these are all truly based off people's lived experiences. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Love you, bye. Hi guys, welcome back to Voices Unlocked. This is episode... What episode are we on?
I haven't got a clue.
Is it 16?
Is it?
16, 15, 16?
I don't know.
I'll find that one out. But anyway, welcome back to our next episode. So for this episode, we are going to speak a little bit on the media. I thought, why not? You know what I mean? We haven't really, we've lightly touched on it, but I know you have just done a research paper on this topic alone. But before we get into that, how's your morning been?
It's been busy. I have been up to do a very important meeting. Shout out to Laura Church out there, because I know you're a follower. But yeah, we're as we've said in previous podcasts, we're in a consultation process at the moment with the government over here in the UK. So speaking to some senior civil servants about why time matters is so fabulous and what are our magic ingredients.
We've got so many magic ingredients.
With the hope that, time matters, there can be more support.
We need more and more support.
So that was an important meeting, hence why I've turned up. So can I just say, for context, I am always the first to arrive.
She was late.
No, I wasn't late. I was just second to arrive. There is a difference. There's a big difference. But it's always me here first, waiting with great anticipation for Olivia to arrive at the podcast studio. And today that was a role reversal.
It was. And you know what? I was here. What time was I here? I think I was here at about 10 to 10.
I mean, what is that?
10
Who
to
are
10
you?
I got here for.
Is that even
Normally
you?
I don't show up till about 20 past 10, to be honest.
Bearing in mind, our start time is 10 o'clock.
All right, punctuality. What time did you show up?
Later than I should have.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely coffee. I played a bit of Pac-Man.
Did you?
Yeah, that Pac-Man machine's my favourite thing in the world, you know.
Have a go at lunchtime.
Shall we?
Yeah.
We will. You'll be better than me though. I'm not good at like them machines. I
Let's
nearly
do
said
those
old-fashioned.
No age difference here, folks. Nothing to see here.
I'm used to like
little
the
ghosties.
DS or like a PS3, PS5.
Yeah.
No,
Not
PS5.
showing your age there at all there, Liv.
What do you mean? I don't mind. I'm 25. 25, still alive, loving it. But yeah, do you know what? My morning's been great.
Has it? Good?
I've had a great morning. Went on a run this morning. Absolutely hated it. Couldn't stand it.
Did you go on your own or did you go with a friend?
I went by myself.
Did you?
Yeah, I can't run with people. Anxiety, no.
Do you listen to music when you run?
I do listen
or podcasts?
to music.
Do you listen to our podcast whilst you're running?
Yeah, I totally listen to our podcast all the time when I'm running away from my problems, listening to our podcast.
Listening to your own problems. Running around the park.
running around the park thinking, why did my mum go to jail?
Running really fast.
Like, literally.
That was a good workout.
Song?
Running up that hill.
That's me,
this is not the podcast I thought we were recording,
so sorry.
but I'm enjoying it.
No, we're speaking about serious topics now.
No, we are.
We've got No, so yeah. Media, that's where we're at. We're at media.
That's where we're at.
So, I mean, personally, I haven't had any... Well, the first time my mum went away, I was kind of lucky because she weren't in the papers in Liverpool. She was in the papers in Chester because it was a Chester-based offence. So I was lucky in that sense. However, the second time she went away, social media was a lot bigger. It just started to blow up. Snapchat had just come out. Oh my God, I'm old. Snapchat had just come out. Instagram is just starting as a thing. Everyone was still using Facebook. And there was a video on Facebook.
Right.
And my mum was in the video. So it got put in the papers and like, I think it was like the Echo and stuff.
So So how old would you have been
I
around
was
then? About
14.
13, 14?
13, 14.
And then did your friends see it?
Yeah, it was getting sent to me. It was getting sent to me on Snapchat. It was getting sent to me on Facebook. I was going into school and people were playing it on the phones, going, "Is this your mum?"
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people, I think because of the community I grew up in anyway, and a lot of people knew me mum, it weren't like they were taking the mick. They weren't really taking the mick. They just had loads of questions. Like they were asking me stuff like, what was it for? Why did she do that? Did she do this? But she's in the video, so obviously she done something, and you know, who was she helping? And just stuff like that. And I didn't know. Like I genuinely didn't know. The second time I found out my mum was away, I'd come home from school and I got a phone call and it was my mum on the phone telling me that she was in jail.
Wow.
That's how I found out.
Really?
Yeah, I was on.
I don't think I've ever known that until this moment.
I'd come home from school to my nanny Carol's. My nanny Carol was in her bedroom, and then I think our Joseph was home at the time. And his room was what's my room now. And I've gone up the stairs. Someone shouted me up, can't remember if it was Joseph or my nan or what. But there was a phone call. My mum was on the phone. She told me she was in jail.
Wow.
Um,
But what was that like for you, you know, when people were sharing the stuff on social media and asking you all those questions?
Oh, it knocked me sick. Like it knocked me for sick because I mean it's no secret that when I was in my teenage years I suffered terrible with mental health. Like my weight fluctuated a lot. Like there was a period of time when you knew me, like I remember you saying to me like, "You're really skinny." Like,
yeah, you were.
You're really skinny. My weight fluctuated. I weren't really eating properly. I self-harmed a lot. Self-harm was a big thing for me. And that was just mental struggles of not it weren't me mum being away. That was never what affected me mental health. It was more going through them teenage years and trying to understand my emotions and trying to understand my hormones and what I was going through. But I never really had my mum there at the time to try and help guide me through it.
Yeah.
So I beat myself up about that a lot. So I think because of how bad my mental health was and I was in and out of CAMHS, it hit me harder than the first time she went away.
Yeah.
So when it was in the media and stuff like that, I'd go out. I didn't really go out with my mates. I didn't want to like go out on the street or whatever. So I did used to go out a lot with my friends. I stopped going out with my friends. I'd stay in my bedroom. My mates always used to ask me to come out and I'd never go out. Or go and sit in my aunties all day. Sit in my aunties morning, noon and night.
That was your safe place?
I'd sit in my aunties morning, noon and night. I'd play up in school. But I was so sneaky, you know. I was so sneaky. I changed me. Now this is why it's so important and why I'm so hard on working in partnership at the minute. Because my school was actually quite good with the way they handled me mum. I think my secondary school was. But I was able to go into school and change my emergency contact and my details by asking the reception to do it, asking my teacher and my reception to do it. So it was me mum. And then they wanted to change it to me nan. And they changed it to me nan. So what I had done was I went home to me nanny Carol and said that my nanny Liz was my emergency contact. Went to me nanny Liz and told me nanny Liz my nanny Carol was my emergency contact. And I gave them my mum's old mobile number. So if anything ever got in trouble in school, they were sending letters to my mum's old address. So no one was getting me school letters. And then they were ringing,
finding this stuff out
they
right now, by the way.
Mum, and there was no answer because she was in jail, so she didn't have a phone. And that's how I
mean, I don't know whether to be like impressed.
I know, and then
shocked.
they told me to give them my nan's number, so I did, but I changed the last number of the phone number. So they were ringing, and some random person was picking up, going, "You've got the wrong number." So I started playing up in school where I'd like truant lessons. So I'd truant my lessons. I wouldn't go to classes. I wouldn't go to. I'd like truant all day, so I'd like walk out to school. I'd get out to school, walk out to school, walk around the park. Or, this was a really bad one, I would go to my nanny Liz's and say, I had an inset day. So I'd walk from my Nanny Carol's in my school uniform all the way to my Nanny Liz's, and I'd get to my Nanny Liz's and go, oh, Nan, it's an inset day, like I've just gone into school and no one's there.
Wow.
And then I'd do the same to like, I'd never do it to me Nanny Carol, so you'd never catch me going into me Nanny Carol's and going, oh, it's an inset day in school, because me Nanny Carol didn't know like that. She'd go, listen.
She's
where
on
me
it.
Nanny Liz was a little bit more like, oh, all right then, love. All right. And my granddad, I'd sit with my granddad all day. And I would rather sit with my granddad than going to school. The only reason I got like that in school was because of what had been shared round and what had been going round. I was scared of the questions. I was scared of like,
Yeah.
what had come from it. And then do you know what was really weird? Like the expectations of what people expected me to be like. Like, because my mum's done this, she must be this type of person.
Yeah.
So I've got to be that type of person. So I think that's what I found really hard, and that's why I did truant lessons. But guys, I'm just going to be honest with you right now before we get into any more deeply of what Lorna's going to get into. Yeah, I did act like that for like, 2 years in school. And then all it was is I weren't naughty. I weren't a naughty kid. I weren't trying to be naughty. I was a kid who needed help, who was crying out for help, but just didn't know how to ask for it because I didn't want to seem vulnerable, more vulnerable than I already was, because I was too scared in case I'd crack. And I knew by me changing, the reason I changed the numbers, the reason I changed the address was because I knew the minute that my nan and my family found out it was something I had to face that I weren't ready to face yet.
Yeah.
I didn't do it because I was trying to be cheeky or trying to be naughty. I did it because I was scared of the repercussions that were going to come from it, but I weren't ready to face all that yet. So then my mental health did deteriorate a little bit, and then that's where my Nanny Carol came into play, and my Uncle Joseph. I cried to my Uncle Joseph, sobbed. My Nanny Carol took me to doctors in the hospital, was in CAMS, and my Nanny Carol took me to every single CAMS appointment. I moved back in with my Nanny Carol. I was off school for a little bit. I did miss a lot of school. And I come out with no GCSEs, but resat them, got myself into college, got myself into uni, come out with a degree. So
just got your qualification.
Just got my qualification.
Triple distinction.
Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, that's what I've been able to build from it. But it was that video that went round that in my brain was like, I can't go back to that school ever again.
And I think you've just summarised like so articulately, you know, how difficult it is to be on the receiving end of like cyberbullying or, I mean, it wasn't necessarily, you know, it was potentially just curiosity, but, you know, just getting that message out there of, for other people, you know, when you think you're just sharing, you know, an interesting story, you know, how it can actually have a ripple effect and affect somebody's mental health. And also, I think what you've articulated brilliantly is that whole difference between somebody who's just trying to be naughty, which you weren't, but actually just really struggling with a very traumatic situation and just didn't know how to cope with it. But yeah, wow, I didn't know any of that. And that, you know, it's.
I think I don't talk a lot about the second time my mum went away. I talk about the first time because I think I was so young and I just wanted my mum.
Yeah.
Where the second time I was angry at her.
Yeah.
But that's I was
normal.
angry at her because she was in the media and I was like, why have you allowed this to happen? And I blamed a lot of it on her. I did. And it doesn't mean I don't love her any less. I love my mum more than anything in the world, but I blamed a lot. I was like, you've ruined my life. And that's how I felt. I thought, you've ruined my life in that moment. I miss you. I love you. I can't wait to see you. But I don't half want to just give you a slap across the face even though I love you. Like, I couldn't understand it. And I think that was like I said, it was the first time social media was blowing up. And I remember having a conversation about you. Well, not about you. I had a conversation to you about the media, and you were the first person to be like, you would be shocked at the amount of young people who struggle with what gets put in the media. And that was the first time, even like from 8 and that, I was sheltered from it a lot. It weren't until I got older and started going to continued to go into the support groups because I fell off for a little bit when I was going through that time and I just weren't ready for support.
Yeah, of course. People dip in and out. It's normal.
But you were still always there for me as a one-to-one. You still mentored me. Even if I didn't want to come to groups, you were still there. And I remember speaking to you and you telling me, like, you'd be shocked at the amount of kids who struggle with what happens in the media. And I think as kids and as young people, we don't understand. We always question why is that got to get put in the media?
Yeah,
Why
of
does this?
course.
And we don't know a lot of the law and legislations around it. And I think that's what's important as well, is trying to understand, like, because I took it as a personal attack.
And I think that, I mean, just that leads in beautifully to like what almost everybody that I've interviewed has said to me. It does. That's definitely what families have said, is that it feels like journalists are just out to get us. They're just out to ruin our lives. But obviously that isn't what journalists, or at least you would like to think most journalists are not setting out to do. So it has been like a really interesting journey for me, working with journalists from John Moores University and trying to understand their world and trying to get them to understand, you know, our world and the world of the children and the families. And it's two entirely different worlds that are colliding, really. But I mean, you've just talked like really deeply about social media. The research, just for context, the research study that I've just done is more about court reporting and about what is, but obviously everything has a ripple effect, because what's put on a court report and what might go in the paper then is copied, pasted, shared in social media.
Yeah, because like the Echo and the Daily Mail have accounts, they have social media.
Absolutely. And you know, it's almost it's a beast that you just can't control. Social media is literally out of control. Hence, you know, even this week, you know, we've got that whole debate around the ban of social media for under 16s, but whole different debate. But yeah, so I think what we started doing about 3 to 4 years ago now, I've lost track of time, was obviously over the years, so many children, so many families are like, why are these journalists doing this to us? Why are they writing all of this stuff? Do they not realise how much it affects our lives and we haven't done anything wrong? So I was kind of like, well, we need to start doing something about this. And interesting, I've just been to the Children of Prisoners Europe conference, and that was the theme in COPE this year, was the media. So there is now a whole collective push really around with organisations in this field, nationally, internationally, about what are we going to do about this. So what children and families are saying is they feel personally attacked. They feel that the reports are written in such a way that is so sensationalised that it's unnecessary, that children are brought into reports unnecessarily. So it'll say like, you know, mum of 1 or dad of 3 or mum of 6 or whatever. And so definitely when I've done the focus groups with children and families, they're like, well, why are we, even though our names aren't mentioned, why the crime isn't anything to do with us? Why are we even brought into this?
It's not to do with the fact that they're a mum or
Yeah,
a dad,
why are you
so
making it about a parental thing?
Yeah.
That's one of the big things that comes up. The home addresses and, you know, comes up, it identifies where we live. And a lot of families will say what is written in those reports isn't truthful. It's lies or it's sensationalized. So it's a huge effect on families, and it definitely does have a physical and emotional effect, because people are then too scared to leave their homes. Kids are too scared to go to school. Adults are too scared to go to work, and all of these people are innocent. They are. It's collateral damage. It's a horrible phrase to use, but that's what it is. It's collateral damage of a crime that they haven't committed. But what I realised when I first started out on this journey, that the only way that we've got hope in hell of making even the smallest positive dent in this is to work with journalists.
Yeah.
That the only hope we've got. Because I'm not a journalist and I don't really understand why those decisions are made or why they write the reports in the way that is written. I don't understand anything about it. I haven't got a degree in journalism. So I started to work with the John Moores School of Journalism to try to understand their their perspective. And we are literally at, even though we're 3-4 years down the line and we've just had a research article published, it's so early days of us touching the sides of trying to understand each other's worlds. So what I'm learning, one of the big things that the reasons why addresses are published, and I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, I'm just saying this is why it is what it is because of defamation of character. So if there is a Joe Bloggs from Warrington and they say Joe Bloggs did X, Y, and Z, but then they don't mention Joe Bloggs's road that Joe Bloggs lives in, there could be another Joe Bloggs in Warrington who could then sue the papers for defamation of character. So that's one of the things.
See, that, speaking on that though, there was someone I know, I'm not going to name any names just for professional reasons, but they sent me a link and I had to send an email to a company who was a media outlet. And on this media outlet, there'd been a huge incident years and years ago. And on this incident that had happened, they'd reported the suspect and put a picture of the person who had sent me the media outlet. And it was the completely wrong person. And this person has like got a whole professional career in something that they really love and care about. They've also got children. They've literally have spent their entire lives building their career. And that was, the whole thing was defamation of character.
Exactly.
Because the last name was wrong and the first name was correct. They both had the same first name, but they had two completely different last names. And that media outlet had to take that video down because of defamation of character, because I'd emailed them over.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, how can you get something so wrong?
Oh, absolutely. And things just happen, by mistake all the time. And then people's addresses are mentioned, and then families will say, well, the defendant, the person that committed the crime didn't even live in that address. That's
what I was going to say. Being on the debate, I'm not turning this into the debate because I know where me and you both stand at with it. But like, my thing of it is just from a different perspective. Like, I'm not saying like this is my beliefs or anything. This is like my debate side of it. But if you have a child or a young person living in that home with, let's say, any young person or young child, but especially children with autism, children who've got special educational needs, disabilities, there's so many laws and legislations around working together in partnership and safeguarding the children's rights act. And obviously everyone is here to safeguard children. But where does that come into play if a child is labelled under as living there?
Oh, it's absolutely awful. It's like almost like a square that's really impossible to circle, because on the one side you've got children's human rights. It's your right to have privacy, and it's your right to be safe also in your own home.
Education, and if that's,
and it's your right to education and right to
So then that's stunting a child's personal development.
Exactly. So you've got all these children's human rights here, and then on the other side you've got we operate on as a society on the principle of open justice. So you've got open justice here, which in layman's terms, and I'm only a layman definitely in this field, is if you do something wrong, you break a law, justice has to be seen to be done. Hence why crime is reported. So we have the principles of open justice here, and then we have children's human rights here, and it just doesn't marry up. It just literally doesn't marry up, because somebody, the children are losing out. The children are absolutely losing out. So all I can say is the very, very positive, very early steps that we're at is that what we're just about to publish is this is what the journalist perspectives are, and this is what the children and families perspectives are. But what we want to do next is start having those meetings together.
Is this report public information?
Not yet. It's literally just been this week accepted for publication. Then there's a whole process where they have to kind of fact check everything, and then it gets published in a
So
journal.
once
But it will be.
So like say in a few weeks, well,
couple of months,
couple
probably.
of months, people who are watching this will be able to
access this report. And I think it will be it will be in it's funnily enough, it's been accepted by a special journal that is specifically about children with incarcerated parents. So every article within that whole journal is going to be about having a parent in prison, but on different topics. So within this, there's some sort of early recommendations about, okay, here's the journalist world, here's the children and families world. What could we potentially do next? And some of the things are, some of the recommendations that we're slowly and sensitively suggesting is that we can get into more training environments where journalists are training to be journalists and get them to understand, what it's like for children, so that when they come to write their reports in the future, there is a little bit more kindness and sensitivity, and you're not just thinking about the person who's committed the crime, but also on the other side of it, getting children to understand what does open justice even mean. Not that we're saying that you shouldn't feel all those feelings, but just to understand even the terminology, and actually to know where to go if you feel that an article has been produced that has broken some kind of code of ethics, so where to go to complain, so that children and families are more empowered. Like, okay, I understand what this terminology means, and I also know where to go to make a complaint if I feel that I've got the right to do so, which I think is empowering. So
I think that's amazing in a sense of it makes a child feel empowered and a young person empowered, that they can stand up for their own rights and stuff.
Exactly.
But I also think it's so sad as well that they have to like...
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a little bit of both. Like, I know, because of the way I am anyway, you know what I'm like. If I would have known all that when I was younger, if I knew what places to go to, if I knew how to handle it, I feel like, listen, I'm telling you what to do. Like, not like I'm telling you what to do, but more like I'd feel empowered and be like, yeah, I'm standing up for myself because I'm able to do that. Like, this is giving me an opportunity of doing that.
But you're so right. Like, why when you're a child
do I have to feel the
have
need
you
to
got
do that?
all of this, all of this difficulty, all of this trauma? You're literally just trying to grow up and go to school and have mates and live a normal life. And now you've got to fight for your rights and fight for your right for, to be understood and to have privacy and to feel like you can sleep at night. It's like going back to the conversation we had with Ben Rakes about resilience. It's like, why should you have to be so strong and so brave and so resilient all the time? You just want to be a kid.
Just want to, yeah.
And that's what's so hard. So normally...
It's just me playing, not devil's advocate, but like just trying to play like both sides.
No,
because
it's tough.
As I get older, I understand it a lot more. Like I understand it a lot more as I get older. But like, I just think when we talk about topics like this, I always say, like, I revert back to like my younger self. And it's like, that's why I said, like, it's actually so sad to me that as a child, like, I'd have to do that.
Yeah. Or
do you know what I mean?
Empowering like the adults in the family.
Yeah.
But even then, no, you're absolutely right. And I would say of all the research projects that I've ever been involved in, this has been by far the hardest one. I've worked with, two amazing journalists, and I'm really, really thankful for the relationship that I'm building with them and continuing to work with them, because it's by far the most difficult and tricky topic to navigate out of every single topic that I've ever worked in, because a lot of things that I work in, I think, I can see the solution. I might not be able to reach it yet, but I can pretty much see the solution, and we just need to fight towards that solution. But with the way social media is just running away with itself and how complex this is, it's so hard to even see the solution. Do you get me?
I get, yeah. How mad would it be if you got a journalist on?
I know I want to.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Should we look into doing that?
Yeah, in a really lovely, supportive way.
Yeah,
we won't
no,
attack
obviously
you.
it'll be like a,
No.
just a debate. I just want to get to know you.
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, I just want to know what your favourite colour is.
But I agree. I think getting a journalist on the podcast would be so good.
Because I feel like there's so much more to unpack on this topic. I feel like we've just like literally we scratched the surface.
I've been doing this research project that I've just got this paper published for, like I say, 3 to 4 years, and I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what I can understand. It's a journey.
We're gonna have to do a part 2 on this, you know.
Yeah, we just need partnership working. We can't have one side attacking the other. We need to go, okay, where somewhere do we meet? Partnership.
I don't know why that's my favourite legislation. You know, that's my favourite. I refer to that all the time. I was doing my EPA the other day, and I think I said it about 16 times.
But everything is about relationships, isn't it? Everything
communication.
Nothing changes without positive relationships.
Exactly. Quality standards, that. Sorry, I'm in work mode for some reason. I don't know.
Why are we in work mode?
I don't know. You being professional?
It's because I've got me.
I know, you've got a blazer on. I'm back
on
in work tomorrow anyway, so it's probably why I'm probably getting my little work cap back on.
So gratitude for today?
My gratitude for today. You go first. I need to think.
I am going to say I'm really, really grateful to the 2 amazing journalists that I've been working with over the last 3 years, Fran Yeoman and Tom McCooey from John Walls, because it's been really, really, you know, they work crazy hours, you know, in their other job, and then I've sort of pulled them into this research project, and I just thank you for your collegiality. Big words today.
I know.
But yeah, I'm just going to say I'm grateful to Fran and Tom out there. You know who you are.
You know who you are. I'm grateful for you and the work you put in and the research you put in. I feel like us kids like go through so much, and you manage to gather what is really affecting us in that moment, whether we say it or we don't, and put every ounce of what you've got into putting research in and speaking to professionals and trying to make change. And you 4x see that, and you work so hard, and you've dedicated so much of your life into this to be an advocate, but to give us a voice and to give us a platform. And I'm more than grateful for you to do that, because you don't have to do that, and you've just got it in you. You're such an empath, and you would literally fight for us till the day you die, I think. Yeah. I don't think you'd ever stop doing what you're doing.
Never.
That's why one of the many millions of reasons why I love you and I'm grateful for you.
I love you too.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
I'm going to cry.
What the hell?
Okay, well,
stop it.
Wait till the next podcast, because one of your most request guests, who was so good that she's coming back for a second time.
Because everyone loved her so much, and she'll probably tell you what leave-in conditioner she uses. Do you know how I'm not even going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. She'll be on the next episode.
Tune in next week.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. This one was quite professional. It was quite information loaded. But obviously it's information that you all need to know. And if you really have got any questions, the email will be at the bottom. It's always at the bottom, and I always question it. It'll be at the bottom. But as always, thank you so much. And see you next episode. Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.